All right, you don't have to have opinion, but I have three people where I don't. I'm not saying they should be. There's some that I'm going to say some that I think should be canceled, and then there are going to be ones where There's one that I'm like, how are they not canceled? Okay, and I don't
So
necessarily.
that's what you're asking. Who should be
There,
canceled that
yes,
hasn't?
because I have my. I don't know if you have any examples, because I have three examples. One of them is a. I don't know how they aren't, but then one of them is a. Then the other two are why have they not been yet? Because they did some bad things. Okay.
This is fun. This is like hunting because
Yeah,
usually I
I'm
hate when
teasing
this
you, dude.
happens.
I'm
I
teasing
I
you.
think I think the I think finding a reason for someone to be canceled is like blood sport.
I think
But
you'll.
I'm glad to
Yes,
engage in it.
these are ones. These are
Um,
egregious crimes against some humanity. You know.
who do you got?
Let's start with. We've talked about this. George Washington, the layup, the easiest one.
Dude, but okay, dude. At a
What?
certain
Don't
point
you apologist
you
for George
can't
Washington?
I'm not going to be an apologist for George Washington. I don't know what he was doing with those fake ass teeth, but what I do know is that he's been dead for like 1,000 years. So that I don't even think that even counts. Cancelable, like someone who hasn't been canceled, I feel like they have to be existed in this culture,
No,
the
because
current one.
think about everything with George Washington's name and face on it, and we like memorialize him. And I think his crime, he owned another person and treated them like property. I think we got to change Washington D.C. to a different name, dude. Something like Harriet Tubman, something apologetic to say, hey, sorry, we celebrated a slave owner
You think you
for
should
so
actually
many.
change the name of an entire city? Are you joking?
I
That's
I
cool.
do. I do. I think they should change
That's
like
a
George Washington University.
what if,
I think they should absolutely.
dude. I think those are symbolic, hollow gestures that are perfect reasons for people who can actually make change to do that, and then everyone's appeased, and then they can just go on doing the most profitable thing, which is exploiting
Yes.
people.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
think
I
this
don't
is
think it
anyone. If someone's like,
Yeah.
"I want to change the name of Washington State," what are you going to change Washington State? Like, listen, dude, tear the statues down. Change if you got a school
Yeah.
like if you got a fucking school with a stupid mascot, change that. Nobody gives a about the Flying Titans or whatever your shit is. Like, but if you're talking about changing the
Yeah.
zip code, get real. What I mean, like, I don't know.
I'm just
George
saying
Washington wasn't a good dude.
you're
What
right.
are we gonna do now? All the people who live there got to change their mailing address to live in X.
Fair point. Fair point. But when I go down to Jefferson, Boulevard, it to me it feels it especially
It's
feels weird
weird.
when it's primarily POCs that live there, and then it's named after Thomas Jefferson. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It feels weird.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird.
All
It's
right,
a weird
we'll move
dynamic,
on. You made a
certainly.
very good point, though. It is an empty, hollow gesture, but I think it would. I think even the gesture would be nice.
I think if you
but we need
that
obviously we need real change. But like I think the gesture is important. I mean, okay, no. Here's my main problem with George Washington. My main problem with George Washington is he knew owning slaves was wrong. Okay, and then he continued to do it. And then he attempted to rectify himself by 2 years after he died, emancipating them. Guy, he who
yeah.
knows the wrong he is doing is guilty of sin, dude.
Yeah, I mean, well,
Like,
my dude, he was running the nation. Like
yeah,
he had a lot of blood on his hands. My dude
yeah,
was floating on a little canoe over here from God knows where.
right.
Like we see all these history books of these weird ass old paintings of him like sailing on a river, and there's just the water's blood red. Listen, there's gonna be no end to what he did, and we can't memorialize that dude, but I think you got to draw the line somewhere. At renaming an entire city, I think is the line.
Okay.
I think that is the line. It's an entire city. Change the street. Yeah, change a street name. Tear down a statue.
All right. Fair enough.
But if you're renaming a whole state,
you're all right, so that makes sense. So,
yeah. They made a Netflix documentary about me, dude.
I watched
Great.
some of that. I couldn't finish it because it was so disturbing.
I didn't watch it.
Okay,
I didn't want to see all my friends.
yeah, I don't want to see people I went to high school with.
Yeah.
or like their equivalent
Literally.
in like the adjacent state. Okay, my next one, Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton somehow gets a free pass for...
Dude, he didn't get a free pass, though.
Dude.
He didn't. I mean, he did and he didn't. You know what I mean? Like, he stayed president. You know, he was not...
Dude, if that...
You know. Well, first of all, he's... Okay.
What? Dude, it's an intern.
Child trafficking.
Okay,
let's
true.
forget Monica
True.
Lewinsky. That was such a beautiful time when we thought that was his biggest problem.
Right.
He was apparently a child trafficker. So that's really the cancelable crime there, but he's gonna be on The View at the end of the week talking about like a blood pressure fundraiser or some shit. Why does he fly above the radar? That's what I'm asking. Like you're really trying to get the root of is what makes someone able to fly above the radar.
Why?
That's the question you're asking.
Well, why are we on Chris D'Elia when we know Bill Clinton, the most powerful man in the world at that time, got his dick sucked by... Oh, I just blew the algorithm.
People don't care about, you know, power. They care about likability. Like, you only cancel someone who's likable.
So you think because he wasn't nobody... But people f with Bill? I feel like people still f with Bill.
Here's the difference, dude. If people try to people don't f with Bill. People don't f with Bill. Not since 1999, dude. Not really.
Yeah.
Everything changed after that. But what I'm saying is, if your whole public persona is based on trying to get people to like you, your fall is going to be way harder. Or if you're just Bill Clinton and you're just an asshole who's just running the country doing God knows what,
right?
You know, bodies all over God's green earth. I mean, you can't. If someone tried to tell Bill Clinton to his face, they're like, imagine a scenario where he's in a limo driving to God knows what, some public speaking event, and his intern, who's a 23-year-old dude with like an iPad, is just like, hey, so it looks like you're being canceled. And he's like, what the fuck? And he's like, yeah, well, you know, people seem to have a problem with you. You know, there's a lot of photos of you with Epstein and Prince Andrew. Yeah. Also, it looks like you kind of extorted Monica Lewinsky, and you know, she didn't really get a fair. And he's like, what the? I don't give. Where are we going to IHOP? That would be his frame of thought.
Am I under arrest? Well, no. Well, then let's go to IHOP.
Well, then we're going to get cinnamon pancakes. Stop being a bitch. Shut up, dude. Why are we bringing this up right now? You harshing my vibe?
All right, so...
You can't be canceled if you don't give a shit.
That's true.
And he doesn't. He also can't be taken down a peg. He was the president of the United States. Right. He's in... It don't happen.
Okay, so fair enough. My last one is... I don't know how much you know about him. Tyler, the Creator. Okay? I think...
Well, yeah.
And I think he gets a pass because, this is the one I like. I like Tyler, and I think he does good things for the world. His music too, because I like Tyler because his lyrics. You know how everyone kind of like dances the line of like, I'm gonna be kind of say things that are offensive, but I'm not gonna go over the line. He goes over the other line and like dives in, dude. So the song I'm talking about, it's a song called Dracula. If you listen to that song, it is. It goes.
Well, Yonkers too.
No, dude, listen to Dracula, man. Dracula is the lyrics to that song. I was listening to it the other day because I had it on a playlist, and it was when I listened to it back in like 2015. I was like, oh, this is like an interesting art experiment of like lyricism, and I'm like, this is cool. He's really pushing it to the edge. Now I listen to it in 2020, and I'm like, I don't know how this guy's not canceled, dude, because it's so messed up and so aggressive to the point where you know it's satire, but to a kid who most of his fan base might not. I would compare him to Grand Theft Auto of our childhood. Yeah. I would say Tyler, Creator, is the Grand Theft Auto of the Gen Zs.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Well, I said Yonkers just because when that song came out, that was kind of like that was right when Odd Future kind of started to take off, and that album, what was it called, Goblin?
Yeah, Goblin.
That was kind of the selling point of that album, was how fucked up it was and what the lyrics were like. But like, you can't. I don't know. I don't.
I'm not saying they should be. I'm just like curious. Like, are we gonna see that? Are we not? I don't know.
It's because people are willing to make exceptions for things they like, dude. So, like, as long as that continues to happen, a lot of people like him. They're not gonna bring him down. Like, you can. You can almost make the argument at a certain point that like this is not even a real thing. Like the fact that people even have conversations about this is crazy. Like someone's career, let's say you get busted trying to hit on underage girls, you didn't get canceled.
Yeah.
People stop buying your tickets.
Right.
Like that's what happened. You know what I mean? So it's like people like to put a word on it to make themselves feel better. Like, oh, we did a thing. Like,
right.
Canceled. Like, no, dude. Like, he did shitty things. The public found out, and then now no one's buying his tickets. But it's not one person didn't like.
Yeah, but you
it's almost like
you branded the punishment is what it is. It's now
that's what it is. You're right.
Yeah.
It's branded punishment,
which is
that's
fun, which we like, right? Because it's all. I think we all see other people's downfalls as an opportunity to propel ourselves.
Oh, for sure, dude. Anyone take the chance
Not
to like
good.
hop on. Dude, and here's the funny thing. You're like, why isn't Tyler the Creator been canceled? But if there were 5 tweets that came out, or like 5, Instagram stories, it would come down like a ton of bricks. Like everyone would immediately, as soon as someone got like the indication that it was time, it's like fighting in medieval times.
Yeah.
As soon as someone sounded the alarm and they were like, "Hey, we're doing this," everyone's just like, "All right, suit up, let's do it. We'll take them."
I do think. Here's my last thing on cancellations. I think the media is the one, because even when we talked about Crystalia, I noticed Google searches. I think the thing people like the most in the news, what's going to cause is someone being canceled, like negative scandals about people. So I think the news has them. They already have them ready to go, and they're like, all right, it's time to pull the trigger on the Dalia story, and then it's because it sells. That's it. That's the
for sure.
Yeah.
It's like 2 people with the keys to like turn and fire off a nuke. Like they always have the keys, and they're just like, it's really a matter of when is this most opportune. Like when can this? Because it's always when like someone has something going on, which is, by the way, not an excuse. If you're doing shady shit like Dalia, you gotta get called out ASAP. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's always part of like the coordination is like timing it with a special, or let's say an album comes out.
Yeah.
But dude, you know what, man? Who's the number one person who hasn't been canceled that should be? Real talk, if I wanted to be a dick and like do this, which I don't, I have no interest in the blood sport of like hunting down personalities for this. But like I gotta think one is Ryan Reynolds. And it's because of, you watch like Waiting. Watch a movie like Waiting. And people saying the F word a lot and not fuck. You know what I'm saying? It's flying a lot.
I don't think
dude was flying it a lot.
Well,
and now all of a sudden he's just like an Instagram person, and he just gets to be on like Ellen and like have some bullshit podcast during the quarantine. Like that. Is that what it is? What's his fate?
It is bizarre. That is, I don't know if that's gonna. Because I told you I was watching The Invention of Lying, and Tina Fey says that word twice in 10 seconds. And that was the moment for me. I'm like, things have changed. Things are different in 2020.
And she's not going to be taken down. No one's going to take her down.
Yeah. But she's like, I mean, I'm sure she, I feel like she's particularly woke now. It's crazy, though, to like listen.
But that's the whole thing. It's not the problem, but like that's the whole thing, dude, is that you can only be taken down if you're playing that game.
Yeah.
So like, if you want to avoid it, just be open about being a piece of shit.
Right.
Like, if you're going to be a piece of shit regardless, just own up to it.
Right.
Because then you have the freedom of owning up to it.
Yeah,
That's the freedom you're seeking.
Don't establish your brand as a moral compass.
If you want to live your life not tipping anyone, being shitty, to wait staff or people who deal with you, then just tell people that's who you are.
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, yeah. And then the narrative gets spun to like, yeah, he's just he's brash, man. Like, that he's kind of eccentric type.
Yeah.
That dude. He's creative, he's a creative guy.
People will expect that from you.
The real problem is when people learn that they should not seek their morals or ethics through celebrities and the work that they do.
Yeah.
When we stop doing that as a whole, then we'll probably have some less Karen videos, I would imagine.
Yeah.